So here we have some of my young monkey puzzle trees. I bought around 100 seeds and had to keep them in wet sand in the fridge for around, I think, 3 months. Since I didn't have that much room, I had to sow them in stages. Those were the first ones I sowed. I think around like 30 of them look as nice as they do right now. You can see them coming out pretty nicely. Some are a bit deformed. Some just look really good. And yeah, I'm hoping for at least 50 or 60 plants to come out of it. Right now I have them in normal soil, and unfortunately some of them were a bit too dry, so the roots started drying up, and yeah, some of them were a bit too moist, so I had a bit of root rot. But this batch seems to be doing pretty good. I'm probably giving them some fertilizer every 2 weeks, some water, trying not to keep them too wet, basically keep them a bit on the drier side. They grow really slow, so this one is the oldest. I think it's around half a year old now, or it might even be a bit older now. And those ones are about half a year, maybe four months old. And then you can see those ones coming out, they're like 3 months old, and I'll show you the others in a sec that don't look as good as they do. So here we have a couple more, only around like 6 of them that came out, or 5. They're also around 3 months old, 2 to 3 months old, and have intact roots. All the ones with intact roots I put in bigger pots like that, because the root just goes down fairly deep, and they just need this space here. Up here I have the last batch. You can see I put, especially in those 3 big ones, I just put a bunch of them in there that didn't look too well after taking them out of the wet sand, since I had like 20 of them stuck there till like a few weeks ago. So I only planted them in a few weeks ago. The root was mainly rotten away from the wet sand, so I'm putting them in here. Some of them looked alright, but just without a root, so let's see if they can pull through or not. And I have a couple more here, some nice ones in here in the bigger pot again, and the others had most of them had an intact root, but it didn't look too good, so I planted them into the small pots. Plus I ran out of medium pots, and I got another batch of 14 here, and they are starting to come out, but they're a bit slow. So after you take them out of the sand, get them out of the fridge, most of them have already produced a long root, but until they pop out as nicely as this one does, it takes another month at least. Maybe might even take up to 2 months, and then they grow really, really slow. So I bought around 100 seeds, not only because it's my favorite plant, the monkey puzzle tree, but also because I'm trying to maybe sell a few of them, keep a few for myself, and see if I can get a bit of money out of it maybe. But I mostly enjoy just looking at the young trees and hope that a lot of them just get bigger. And you can tell, like, especially this one has started to get like light needles on top, and I'm hoping that they turn darker green again. I've been fertilizing enough, so let's see. I think that it might have been because the root was a bit damaged, since the soil it was in before was a bit too moist. But all in all, a lot of them are looking good, and I'll be giving an update in the near future.